Hello fellow sim racers, both professionals and amateurs. This is the first race of my fictional Formula Raceroom World Championship at Monza, Italy. It's a 9-round championship, each round having 2 races. This series is, this video series is a replay of each event. Here I will be offering commentary, explaining why I do what I do, and how stuff happens. And let's go. All races have standing starts. I qualified terribly here for the first race. Go to the TV camera. All the way back in 21st. I know the display there says -1, but that's just messed up. There's no way you can qualify -1 position. Alright, and we're off. It's a bit of a crazy start. Go in on the outside, and we'll get all the way up to 18th. And we'll outbrake everybody, get up to 11th. Will snake my way by everybody in the chicane and get up to 9th. First lap is very exciting. Alright, going down the curve, coming around, everybody fighting for position. Alright, now that was crazy there. Picked up 2 positions, or tried to. Almost made contact. Accelerated a bit too early off coming off that turn, almost lost a position. Coming around right on his tail. Leaving this complex, whatever it's called. Going down the backstretch. Heading into Ascari. I'm going in for the overtake. Going in for the overtake. And I'm able to get it done. Up to 7th. Through Ascari. Able to get a runoff. Down, well, I don't know, I guess you could call this the backstretch. The second backstretch. Yeah, I'll call this the second backstretch. And there I am for position. Almost made contact. And a parabolica going 6th. Or in 6th. Drafting or slipstreaming, whatever you want to call it, down the front stretch. And at the line, okay. That tracker was messed up. I think it said like 136 something. Alright, and able to outbrake him for 5th. Drafting. Round the curve. Into the second chicane. And able to outbrake him. Now, if that was real, I think I would have had to give him that position back, but you can see I didn't. Just, was able to, it was just, I really shouldn't have done that, but I did anyways. Alright, and here I am, working on the podium position. And there, and I'm not able to get it done, as we head into Ascari. Coming out of Ascari, down the second backstretch. Parabolica going for the overtake, but can't get it done. Got a run off Parabolica and up to 3rd into the podium. Or I haven't finished on the podium. And actually, I'm not going to give away where I finish. It's part of the mystery of these videos. It might have looked like I cut there, but I was not given a warning. I was not. Alright, so as I try and catch up to the leaders here, I just want to say that I race with some assists on, and the opponent difficulty is at 95%. I'll be doing every race at 95%. In the corner there, it says lap 17 of 18. That's not true. As you can see, this is only like... Okay, I lost track of myself. This is either the 2nd or 3rd lap. That does eventually catch up when we get to lap 17. But, it's just... And the best lap, it says there, my best lap is 148. That is not true either. The only tracker thingy that does work is the position. It says I'm in 3rd of 24 cars. That is true. So don't let that lap counter deceive you. It's not true. I'm not really on lap 17. Each race will be 100 kilometers approximately. in this championship that I'm doing. Down the front stretch. Into the first chicane. And I'm catching up with the leaders here. Now, I want to know your thoughts on this format here. I'm showing the whole race and commentating for the whole race. I want to know if this is a good idea. Oh, went a bit wide there. But I want to know if it's a good idea that I do this, or should I edit out the boring stuff where I'm like trying to catch up with other cars, or like lengthy pit stops or something. I really want to know what you guys think of that, or of this format. Heading into Ascari. Heading out of Ascari. I'm catching up with them. Now, I said I have opponent difficulty set to 95%. I also have the damage percentage right up to 100%. So these cars are quite a bit delicate. Don't worry, I didn't bust my suspension there. It's perfectly fine, but yeah, it's like you're truly driving. It's like I'm truly driving a Formula car because of that, all with the damage sensitivity. If you're wondering, I'm using fraps to record this. It's averaging about 30 frames per second, sometimes dipping down like to 27 or getting up to 32. It's very good. Only paid $37 for this. Alright, and getting in behind them using their draft. Now, I want to go to my own cockpit view here, because I want to see, I want to show you guys how I'm not really close to them. The reason why I'm doing that is because if I'm really close to them, then I might hit them in braking, and like I said, I have my damage sensitivity set way up, so I'm just playing it safe right now. To the first chicane, make a little contact, not enough to do anything significant. Oh, and in this series here, each race I have to make, and all of the cars have to make at least one pit stop. It's a 9-race season. Oh, frame rate dipped there a bit. Sorry if it got a little choppy. Alright, now this is kind of what I'm talking about there. I didn't want to be that close going into Ascari. Catching up, going in for the overtake. Oh, I want to go TV view. This part is exciting, and you only get the full effect from this. So I'm going on the outside in a parabolica, but he's able to make it stick. So to try and get past, I'm drafting with the leader. Which, also too, I'm trying to save fuel at the same time, so I'm also watching my throttle, because I don't want to hit his end or use more throttle than I should. And that took over my mindset, and that is why that happened. Right there. So I pull all the way ahead, and that is just the beginning of a long string of bad luck for me. Well, in this race, anyways. Second one goes great. I don't want to give too much away about it, but it goes great. Into the second chicane. I'm driving angry, so got through that alright. You know, I say I'm driving angry, and I seriously shouldn't be doing that, because I've found in the past that when I drive angry, it seriously throws off my concentration. And I advise that if you drive angry in a sim, don't do that, because it will affect your performance, and you won't be able to catch the leaders. Hey, there. So yeah, I got frustrated, and I went off into the stand, exiting Ascari. I am going to switch to the onboard camera. Just in case if you're wondering, I am indeed using a racing wheel with pedals. It's a Thrustmaster force feedback wheel. Whoa, and yeah. That's where I lose my suspension and my wing. Front wing, that is. Here, as you can see on the TV. Now what happened there was I was simply accelerating off of the corner too much. Accelerating too early, I mean. And I just simply lost all traction and hit the wall. Completely my fault. It's driving angry, driving distracted, thinking about the leaders. Hey, I never noticed that before. Wait till on the front views on the right, or what would be the driver's left front wheel there. It's actually kind of tilted there. I had never noticed that before. Because that is the wheel where the suspension is messed up. Never noticed that before. That's a cool feature, Simbin. Alright, so I don't want to lose too much time, but at the same time, I don't want to get caught up by these drivers and get involved in an even bigger wreck. So I let him by, and I go into pit now. And this is within the recommended pit window, so also I changed my 2 front tires and get the suspension and front wing fixed. I was talking about my wheel before when that wreck happened. It is a Thrustmaster force feedback wheel, and it's made for both the PC and PS3. Paid only $50 for this on Amazon. It's very durable. It's nothing compared to like the G25 or G27 wheel, but for what I want to do, it's a good wheel, so I highly recommend it. Alright, and that was a painfully long pit stop, if I don't say so myself. Now, not wanting to lose too much time, I try and drive quickly, very quickly, like I'm qualifying basically, but I just can't do that because I have cold tires and cold brakes because I was sitting in the pit so long. They cooled down too much. And of course, you know, you should never drive like that when you're going qualifying speed. Or no, I phrased that wrong. When you're driving as if it's a qualifying lap, you want all of your brakes and your tires to be warmed up. So what I'm doing here, it really isn't the smartest thing to do. So yeah, I dropped all the way back to 24th. Heading down the first backstretch to Ascari, going in for the overtake, but a little exciting there. Now, my suspension was just fine. Nothing happened to it there, but I was seriously worried that something might have... Hey, there, right behind, right on the horizon there. There, those 2 cars way in the back. Those are the leaders. So as I'm doing this, I'm seeing them in my rear view mirrors, and I'm just, I'm kind of beginning to panic a bit. Oh man, I don't want to go a lap down. I could possibly still win this, I'm thinking to myself. But, seriously, I can't. I'm just too far back. Alright, now this car ahead of me here, you saw that cloud of sand. Yeah, let me go to my cockpit camera. This car, you'll see him go off up here. That is because he too has issues with his splitter. And yep, there I was trying to catch up with him. Now as we go by, look in the rear view mirror thingy, and that's not an actual mirror, but it's just the rear shot. Look in that and you'll see that he does indeed, that splitter is gone. And to Ascari, he's right on my tail, and I'm freaking out right now kind of, because I see that cloud of dust and I'm like, oh no, am I going to get involved in something? But I keep a level head and I get past him. There, you can see in the rear view now, whatever that's, the rear shot that he does not have a splitter. Down the front stretch. Into the first chicane. You gotta be very careful with the wheel at this track, or else you'll, you gotta be very careful with the steering wheel at this track, or else you'll, get loose on one of the turns, and of course when you get loose, you lose traction, and when you lose traction, you lose speed, so you gotta be very careful on these chicanes, I found. Very. And not only that, but Ascari too. Ascari is a very, it's a very complex set of turns. In fact, I actually think it might be my favorite set of turns ever. Because even though it's counted as 3 turns, as we'll see coming into here, you've got this left-hander, this right, and then this left one again. It's if you run it correctly, you'll be able to get a massive run off the last part for the stretch that we're on right now. But if you don't, you can lose a lot of time, and therefore it's really challenging. You gotta find the right line. Like that second turn, the right-hander, you gotta know how far to hug the apex, or else you might not get a run off of it. It's my favorite turn in this game, I think. And then again, there's the corkscrew at Laguna Seca. But I'm not racing at Laguna Seca this season. Maybe I will next season. Oh, in the pits, I passed a car up to 21st, as you can see on the display. And I'm coming up on some other cars right now. If you are curious about my schedule this year for Formula Raceroom, I'm running Monza, followed by Marrakesh, the Morocco street circuit, Poznan, the track in Poland, Zandvoort, everybody's familiar with that, or anybody with Race07, I should say. Road America, yep, Road America, love that track. Valencia, at first I was skeptical about racing at Valencia, but I did some testing. It was actually pretty fun. Brno, I tested these cars at that track. I even did a test race, and man, that was fun. Hockenheim, of course we gotta have Hockenheim, because that's the track that came with this expansion pack, and Istanbul as the finale. That's 9 events. The reason why I chose Istanbul was because that's kind of where all 3 continents of Africa, Asia, and Europe meet, and it's just right there where they all meet. I think would be a really cool place to end any racing series. And it's a challenging track too, especially with that turn 8. Trying to catch up with these two. Now that was scary right there, because firstly, as I was coming off that turn, I kind of wanted to really catch up with those two and pass them, so I was accelerating earlier than I usually did. and that descended badly. A little bit of contact there. It ended badly because, as you saw, I was turning right a little bit, or the car was. I quickly turned left to correct myself. But anyways, I was afraid I'd hit the tires, and there I go, and passing my teammate for 15th. But what happened, and then right after that, I kind of zipped over, but by the end of the ribbon there, or not ribbon, but whatever that extra part of the track is called, and kind of went up a little bit. So then I thought I was going to lose traction in the front. But luckily none of that happened. Through the first chicane, trying to catch up with these two. And this series is kind of like Formula 1. If you have this, you'll kind of, if you have the Formula Raceroom hat on, you'll kind of see that. Because each two cars in each team look almost exactly the same, other than like the number. Oh, and go off a little bit here. My teammate gets by me yet again. And so does he, in that Azov team, or whatever that is. Going by 4 seconds. And why did I say second? Going by for 15th, but he's able to shut me down as we head into Ascari. I set it up for so I can speed off of it, and I'm able to overtake. I think we made contact there. I'm not going to back it up because this is already long as it is, but it felt like we made contact when I was originally doing the overtake. There, you saw in the last lap that the car on to the left there that stopped. I'm not sure what that car's issue was, if that was fuel or a wreck, but I was looking at the results at the end of the race, and altogether there were 4 DNFs. One of them was because of a wreck, and 3 were because of fuel. I never really investigated what happened to that car in the replay, but by the looks of it, he just simply ran out of fuel, because I don't see any damage done to that car. My teammate's trying to get through, but I'm not going to let him. Down the first back stretch. To Ascari. Got a little bumpy entering the first part of it. Alright, I'm gonna go to the TV view. Few laps to go. Not quite sure how many because the stinking tracker doesn't work, but yeah. I'm trying to catch those two. So I'm kind of thinking after all of those, all the rough time I had on the second chicane there and the lengthy pit stop, this was a bad day. Well, it gets worse. It was, I believe, well, let me check on the timer here. No, actually I think it's next time by. Next time by on the first chicane, I cut it, apparently. I was driving it just like I drive, I drove it all those other times, but apparently, I was cutting. I don't know how, because like I said, I drove it like I did before. But there's no way to fight the ruling of the stewards in this. I actually wish they had that feature. That would be pretty cool. But yeah. So because of that penalty that they hand out next time by, I have to come in for a stop and go penalty. I'll get to that after that happens. I actually had an interesting strategy I devised right after it happened. Alright, I'm not quite sure why, but the frames per second there got quite a bit low. I apologize for that. It shouldn't be doing that. Looks like it's all fine now, though. let me check that timer again here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that time that I cut. Anyways, what was going through my mind here after I cut and I was given the penalty for a stop and go penalty was that this is gonna cause a big dent to my starting position in the second race, because I really need a good starting position. And really, as you can see, I'm catching up with these two cars that are teammates. If I could get by them for 13th, that wouldn't be that bad of a starting position in the second race. But no, since I'm given that stop and go penalty, I have completely changed. I completely changed my focus. Now I'm thinking I gotta speed up as much as I can, gain as much time on the other cars, and then come in for the stop and go on the very last lap, because my pit box is actually right before the start-finish line, so I could actually save myself quite a bit of time by doing that, and that is what I end up doing. Now, I actually don't know if the FIA actually allows that in their sanctioned series, but this game doesn't say I can't do it. Try and go for the overtake, but seeing as this given a stop and go penalty, I really don't want to cut again or do an illegal overtake. Round the curve, drafting with them. Alright, now, so something happened there in the middle of the chicane. I'm not quite sure what it was. It just somehow, not sure what it was. I think it might have had something to do with the way I'd initially entered it. Oh, forgot to mention this. Last lap. Drafting behind them. Going in for the overtake on Ascari. And it's good. A little hairy there, but it's good. Coming off of Ascari, and we'll get a runoff. Not quite enough to pass on the backstretch here, but I'm drafting, and I set up for the overtake on the entrance into Parabolica. So yeah, that would be great if I didn't have that stop and go penalty, but apparently I do. So here I come in to serve it. And the strategy I was talking about before, about coming in on the last lap to reduce the overall time, that does end up working, because I drop only back to 17th, which I had originally started in 21st in this race. Well, I don't know, that's only 4 positions I made up. I do much better in the second race, so watch that.